Puff Marth. Okay, so this matchup's kind of the opposite of what I said. At top level or higher level, this is volatile for both sides because Marths are really good at getting that dash grab into the pivot tipper. At lower levels, mostly it's Marths getting rested, and then like if the Marth wins, they just kind of either get some straightforward smashes or just out neutral them. In my humble opinion as a Jigglypuff player, and I think in most of people's opinions at this point, Marth wins this matchup pretty solidly. Of course, a big part of that is his punish game though, and like I said, at like lower mid levels, even like sometimes at high level, if the Marth doesn't have like the best punish game on Puff, it can be really tough for him. Because, you know, just trying to wall out is rough if you ever get like rested or anything. But the other thing that I would like to say is not only that this is a bad matchup for Puff, but I think this is a bad stage for Puff. I think it's like this, Stadium, and Yoshi's are the three stages that Marth is good on. So I kind of disagree with going here game one. You could have gone to Dreamland, FOD, or Battlefield, but you picked FD over those. Like, I don't get that. Because like you can shield drop some of Marth's stuff, you can like escape to platforms when you're landing. Like, I don't know, it just seems silly to me. And I mean, I've seen plenty of Marths counter pick here, so I know they got my back. But you know, making it work right now. Interesting. Still ended up working out. That was not recommended in my opinion. Of course, I'm not too great at edge guarding Marth either, but okay. So, yeah, both characters like just walling out, honestly. That's like a big part of this matchup, just walling. I think that Marth, let me check who that is. Marth is Mr. K, okay. So, Mr. K, okay, you can't do that. If it's a standing grab, you gotta jump in. Okay. You technically don't have to, but I think you should because reacting to it is really, really hard. Obviously goes 50-50, but okay, that's 1/3 now. The record is getting worse. But yeah, you either need to be really close, react really well, or jump in. Now if he misses like a running in grab, it's much easier. But if he's just standing, really, really can be tough. Okay, Marth got out of the corner. This is looking not too great for Puff right now. Yeah. Doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but like letting Marth out of the corner means that you're losing like a lot. Like that's like the main time you can get stuff in this matchup. Of course, Marth doesn't have the worst time getting out of the corner, but you really gotta make it count. Because eventually Marth's like, it's really hard for you to get out of the corner too. He can corner you, especially on this stage, better than pretty much any other character can corner Puff. Okay, chin grab. Down air. This is the second one, gets the up tilt. Okay, this is really bad for Puff. I would be very surprised if Puff wins this. Obviously, you always have rest, but they haven't been able to get any rest yet, and I don't think it's going to be enough. Because even if they get a rest, Marth needs to DI up, and yeah, it's just not going to happen. So I would say a big part of that loss was going to FD. There's a lot of times Jigglypuff was coming down from the sky, not able to come down. Just makes the neutral harder. I don't think it's like good to like get it out of the way because Marth has 3 good stages. So even in a best of 5, he would still have 2 counter picks, and this is a best of 3. So I think that there was no reason to do that. I know some other Puffs like FD more than me, but I think in this matchup, it's definitely not good for Puff. And then Battlefield, probably what we should have seen in game 1, either this or FOD. I don't think either of them is wrong. Obviously, the common wisdom is that FOD's better for Puff, but it just depends on how you want to do it, really. The ceiling's only a tiny bit higher. It doesn't make that much of a difference. But the platforms are different. That's like the main thing. And you know, it can be more like FD sometimes. So All right, so I think Mr. K is actually, yeah, Mr. K is the puff. My mistake. But yep, this is hard for Puff, I think. It's kind of crazy to me that people used to think that this was Marth losing, but I don't know. I think Zan showed him up. But anyway, that's enough of that. My co-commentator's coming back. We got a nice Marth Puff set.
Yes. The sickest interracial commentating duo you've ever seen.
Yep.
Let them know.
You gotta let them know.
We got tiebex, Mr. K. We're going against Mr. K.
Yep. They started on FD, which I think is a silly decision from the Puffs end.
Yeah.
But it's not going that much better on this stage, unfortunately.
Tiebex, I mean, oh my goodness.
Got the rest.
Hey, get the kill.
It's only one stock now.
It went unpunished, so it wasn't the wrong choice.
Yeah, definitely not.
I just want to see more from a lower percent. That's probably his best way of winning. Yeah. It looks like the type that conditions to probably get a rest, but
yeah.
when you know how to space around certain characters, you just don't play into it.
Yeah, I think that Puff is fishing too hard for like rest setups that require Marth to do something first. Like they're going up to the shield and then just like crouching, but it's like you can't do that over and over because Marth just knows, and then he can just like down air you, and it just like you can't punish it. So
right, and if you're just gonna go for a grab, you have to convert it more. Otherwise, you just get beat out.
Yeah. Okay, that was good. Got to make that count, but Marth's recovery is not too bad in this matchup. He can usually make it back just because Puff's most of her moves hit upwards. Okay, that could have been a kill, but tiebex not really going as much for the pivot tippers. That would be, I think, was a little unnecessary, but as was that. Okay, it works. Whatever.
It's never unnecessary if it lands. If it lands, it's the best thing ever.
It's true.
Best thing ever.
Unless it trades, then it's like one tier below.
Yeah, he got himself some more fighting time, but I don't think he's gonna last much longer.
I don't think so.
Like his strat is, you know, it got beat out.
Yeah.
tiebex knew it. Yeah.
It's really tough when you're at like 100 as Puff and they're at like 0 because they can just like CC everything and just like wait for you to do something that's too punishable.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be crouching them at 0. Like if they're at 0 too, you're really not gonna get anywhere. They'll probably just stare at you. It's kind of what tiebex did, just in shield. It worked though. I mean, he looked like he just threw out his bread and butter fair juggles and kept